Hello, David Chandris right here. My background is in neuroscience and education. I've worked in both fields for about half my career in each one, and I tell you, when you put them together, you end up with a juicy fruit. We want to talk briefly today in the last of my little holiday series and short instructional videos on the use of deep narrative in learning design. Now, we talk about narrative, we're just talking about storytelling. That's it. That's all narrative is. Now, you can have narratives which are superficial, which are actions and verbs and predicates and a few adverbs thrown in. Hi, I went to the grocery store. I wanted to buy some milk. My milk was too expensive, so I settled for sour cream. That's not that interesting a narrative because it doesn't really open up a lot of possibilities for the person reading it. I mean, it's just a factual account. In order to write effective narrative, and this is covered by people who are screenwriters so well, is you have to create anticipation, excitement, foreshadowing. You've got a lot of dramatic technique that's used in good production of narrative. We're taking it one level more, one level deeper, and that is the idea of deep narrative in game design for learning. Deep narrative is again fixed to the a couple of areas we talked about here, which are metanoia and metasimulation game design. So deep narrative has to do with metanoic pursuit of goals. Again, metanoic pursuit of goals is in your learning, you want an overall goal for your life. And that overall goal is not about getting richer or happier or moving to Florida and owning 19 condos in Key Largo. The deeper learning is kind of who you are and what you're going to become that may enable that capacity. So that is what deeper narrative is about. It's stories designed to trigger these deeper emotions inside us that pull us toward questions of what does it mean to be alive? How do you build these kind of narratives? You deal with fundamental themes, broken anti-heroes, one approach. So you become a character in the game or the learning in which something is wrong in your world and you have to fix it. That's a powerful way to build in what we call a deeper narrative. Another way to talk about deeper narrative is to talk about universal themes across cultures. You could talk about someone traveling to Turkey and encountering a scholar, which then teaches a new way of looking at the world so they can cope with grief more effectively. The idea of dealing with major existential threats to our life and well-being, that takes narrative to a deeper level, a lot of identification. You can deal with dystopias, you can in a world which doesn't understand you and you're a soul against the world trying to establish yourself. Or you could talk about the idea of sentient beings who are assisting you, almost like meeting magical helpers along the way. These are all in the confine of what's called deeper narrative, which again connect to neurotheology, our primary field here on this channel. Deeper narratives tap into unconscious organizations of the world that we have. The brain organizes the world into complex patterns we're often not aware of. Any area of psychotherapy, whether it's Jungian, whether it's Freudian, or whether it's Adlerian, anywhere you want to go in psychotherapy talks about the fact that we organize the world in certain ways and we don't know how we do it. We organize it. And we can sometimes organize pretty horrific or pretty fantastical worlds. All that we're doing in deeper narrative is we're asking the person in the deeper narrative to try to understand their connection to the world outside them. How does my work connect the greater scheme of living things, of other patients I might see in the future, of values? It takes it away from you and your ego, and it makes it about something other than you. And as we know in things like 12-step programs, the first step to truly learning is to maybe make the learning about someone other than you. New concept? I don't know. Given that everybody in the world is celebrating this time of the year, there must be someone common meant to humanity that gives us deeper narrative from the dawn of time. I'm asking you to build all your learning using deeper narrative. Have fun. You might learn something about yourself as well. Signing off, David Chandros, PhD. Boom. See you next time.